Welcome in, everybody. 2 minutes to go, and it's the Tuatara Championship, round 6, 7. I can't remember. Round 6 around Australia. It's going to be an insane race. Stay with us for this epic battle between a full grid today. Once again, big thank you to everyone. Every single race this season, we've had a maximum amount of drivers in here as well. We've got 6 reserves today, but I'm sure they'll be wanting to put on a show for them in their separate reserve championship as well. So good luck to everybody, and we'll see you in 1 minute. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Oops, sorry. There we go. Welcome in, everybody. It's round 7 of the Tuatara Championship. Not 6, round 7. TK joins me in the comms box today. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good. How are you, Paddy?
I'm all good, yeah. Just had a chilled one today. Shoulder is getting better. Just
Have
slightly.
you been to see the doctor?
No. I am
What are
terrible.
we gonna do with you?
I am terrible for it. I really am. It's bad. But yeah, we're in for an exciting race, Australia. It's since the track change, it's brought on a little bit more excitement, higher speeds, a lot more overtaking opportunities. But there is some dangerous corners that can catch these drivers out. The infamous turn 7 and 8 always test these drivers out there. No matter what quality you are, it does test them, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely correct. You know, all the high-speed turns are probably the most brutal on this circuit. Like you said, that middle chicane is known to quite possibly throw cars across the track. So we'll see what happens here in the Tuatara League.
Yeah, and Carlson he's been told that he's going to try and push through today, but he's feeling very, very ill. So maybe there's an opportunity for the likes of TTD Chris to take advantage of this driver being ill and try and close that deficit.
Yeah, quite possibly. Obviously, you know, when a driver's ill, you have to make that work for you. You have to kind of push through in a slight advantage, so to speak, and we'll see if some of the other competitors can make the best of it this afternoon.
Indeed, we will. Looking a bit cloudy out there. Qualifying is
Definitely is. We want to see some rain in Australia.
Really? Ooh! This could get juicy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go into the qualifying, let's take a look at the team lineup today.
Yeah, so starting off strong in the Alfa Romeo team, it's Ice Peacock and someone else. Death Peacock is 92 in the Avatari. Gagley and Nathan Clark in the Alpine. AVFC Walpole and ICU in the Aston Martin. Mansu and F1 Alex in the Ferrari. Jay Field and the Slapbus in that. I need to slow this down next time. Expo and F1 Lewis in the McLaren. Carlson and Sam in the Mercedes. TGT Chris and Xbox Culver in the Fred Bulls. Andre and Matt Caruana in the Williams. There are a few driver changes to be aware of, though. Fatty steps in to the AlphaTauri. Josh Wood will be in the McLaren for this afternoon. Yeeting Toast makes his second appearance in this season for the McLaren team. Gracious Bear steps in for his first round as a reserve into the Mercedes. Reese Thomas takes his second appearance here in the Red Bull, and IFE Crack makes his debut appearance in the Williams car.
Yeah, TK, you did an absolute fantastic job there, mate.
I need to slow that down next time.
I think, yeah, maybe we could, live and learn. But I think you managed
a very
it.
big gap to a very small gap.
Yeah,
so,
I think you managed it there. I was in the middle of changing my hats round to a Tuatara hat. I do like these bucket hats. They just don't.
Yeah,
they just don't go well with a headset over the top of it. So.
That's why you need some in-ear headphones.
Wait there, where's my badge? Right. So yeah, quite a lot of reserves tonight, but obviously they're in their own separate championship. So it's within their interest to do really well here and get some points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a good championship so far in the reserve. The Reese Thomas is kind of leading it by a mile. He's about 11 points clear of anybody else. That was after Hungary round 6. So
but
we'll see
since then, he hasn't raced a lot since then, has he?
No, but I don't think we had many people last week either. I don't think there were many reserves here for Monza. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens today. Obviously, 6 reserves out there today, and a great opportunity for them to grab some decent points in their championship. But it's all about the main championship. Carlson leading this one, but he's feeling ill today. Can Chris take advantage of that? Or I see you. And we've got a new driver, official driver now. He's taken the seat of Bumble Goblin, and that is Andre. He has the official seat now in the Red Bull car.
No, in the Williams car.
In the Williams car, sorry, apologies. In the Williams car. So congratulations for him to stepping in as a full-time seat. But without further ado, we've got 15 minutes left of qualifying. Let's get in to this race. So, let's get the map track up. And a lot of drivers out on the track at the minute, but obviously these are all about the banker laps coming in. We're going to ride on board with Icebreak at the minute in the Alfa Romeo. Remember, we are in the F1 World Cars at the minute, but if you've got a special livery, they are using it, obviously, with EA having a bit of a problem with the equal performance. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are in the special liveries, and the ones that aren't special liveries look fantastic.
They do a good job, these boys, don't they? So we've got our first time up on board. So 1:17.648 from the Aston Martin driver of AFC Wappel. What do you think? What do you think the pole position is going to be around about today?
Well, I don't know. If we're judging by starting times, maybe the low 170s, we might see a driver push into the 16s. It all depends on weather. It looks rather overcast, which means the track's not going to heat up as much, the tyres won't get as much grip. So it's all kind of going to go and see what happens with the weather here, I reckon. It
definitely is. And maybe track evolution is going to be a big part here. Gagli goes pole, and I see Icebreak then on a hot lap. He goes a 1:17.1, so riding on board with Icebreak seems to be a good option there. He is in the low 117s, TK.
He is indeed, and I think this early on in qualifying, this almost guarantees a high 16s pole if he's wanting to improve. Definitely track evolution, like you were saying. Yeah,
so Andre then, first time in the Williams officially as a full-time driver. He has invalidated his lap. So we'll have to go again. So we'll ride on board with the Alpine driver in that beautiful pink livery, I've got to say. And Nathan Clark coming round. And it's a 1:18.2 for Nathan Clark.
That pink livery is probably one of my favourite ones from the start of the season. It's just beautiful. It's so different to what you see on the grid nowadays. It reminds me of the old Racing Point cars.
It definitely does. Who doesn't? What real man doesn't like a bit of pink, eh?
Exactly.
Great livery from Alpine, and down to their main sponsor, BWT.
Who was someone else's sponsor last year, wasn't it?
Wasn't it
was
Aston
Racing
Martin?
Points and Aston Martin.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And then they changed it. Yeah, that was it. Right, okay. I see you,
Moving
in the Aston Martin. And pretty easy to do an Aston Martin livery, isn't it? You just, you just go
Slap a bit
green.
of green on it.
Slap green, we're going to know who you are.
Yeah, we're not going to confuse you with the old caterings, we promise.
Right, so we're going to go on to Rhys Thomas. Now, Rhys Thomas is leading the Reserve Championship. He's in the Red Bull car today. And talk us through this hot lap then from our reserve driver, Rhys Thomas, as he starts it.
First of all, I think it has to be important to present he's in the Verstappen livery. That is automatically -1 championship point. But moving on, he's on a bit of a weird approach here. He's slowing right up. I don't know if he wants this much of a gap or if he's planning to tow for his teammate. We see his teammate actually come through the distance. Are we going to see a tow here down the home straight?
Oh, I think you've got... No, he's not. No, you're not. He could have given him a tow there. But he's in it for himself.
He definitely is. Oh, he almost caused his teammate to crash. Speaking of a Verstappen livery, anyway, comes around the final corner, gets the DRS wide open on the Red Bull to begin his first hot lap here at the Australian Grand Prix.
He's got traffic.
He does have a bit of traffic, gets out of the way just in the nick of time, and we head through turn 1 and 2, the first of many chicanes on this beautiful circuit. The run down to turn 3 is a heavy braking zone, especially with traffic in front of him. That's not where you want to see cars at the moment. They do get out of the way as he comes round this more technical part of the circuit. The curbs on each side do not want to be ridden over. They will beat your car quite easily. Running down to turn 6, I believe that is. It's a quick right-hander into a quick left and another quick right. It's a nice little S-bend. Starting sector 2 on the run down to probably the fastest point on this circuit, especially now DRS has been added to this long left-hand curve. Running down into actually the most dangerous part of the circuit, turns 7 and 8, as you were saying earlier. This very quick chicane, get it wrong, you will end up in the wall or probably the gravel at the latest. Around turn 8, down towards turn 9, another heavy braking zone after they extended that run down in the latest changes to the track. And then sector 3 remains pretty much unchanged, very familiar. Couple of bends, 2 more to navigate here for Rhys Thomas as he comes around the left, and then a right hand.
Traction's always difficult here, isn't it?
It definitely is. You can really easily lose the traction around the final bends, especially when you get that DRS swing open. We'll see what he's going to do for his first lap time. It's a 1:19.7 for Rhys Thomas.
Well, he definitely doesn't want to be there. Having a look at the championship lead here, I know we were talking earlier how he's ill, but it really has affected him. He's down in 12th place, this Carlson, and his championship rival in second place is up there in third at the minute. But could this open it right up today?
It definitely could. We know how close the rounds have been in future. We know how close the finishes have been in this league. And all it would take is probably one bad result. He had a bad result in Austria, only getting 1 point. And I think a second one could really open up the championship in Chris's favour.
It can. Just having a little look here. So at the minute, the top 13 covered by just under 9 tenths. And 9 minutes left of this session. I'm sure we'll see this get closer and faster. But once again, qualifying not disappointing us here in the Tuatara Championship. And while we've got a few in the pits, let's take a look at what our main sponsor, the Tuatara, is all about. Tuatara then. Woo, baby! And if you are wanting to use any of their products, you can get 15% off if you use code PATTYPAT15. The website to the link is in the chat, where you can keep an eye on the league standings as well, and the constructors, all on that website as well.
Yeah, I'm doing some maths here on the championship standing. If Carlson fails to score or retires early due to illness, and Chris can get a win and the fastest lap, it'll bring the championship down to, I believe, 20 points in it.
Yeah, he has pulled away in that the first 5-6 races, but you know, things happen in league racing. Like I say, drivers get ill or they're on holiday or something like that. And like I say, it's a really good opportunity for the other drivers to close that deficit. But I don't know. I think, we've got a Williams going round there, having a bit of a melting moment. But he has, I don't know. I think Carlson, he's one of those drivers that, well, he's a Raikkonen. He's not one to moan. He just said he's ill. I mean, the fact that he's out there now, pushing through, I don't know. I think maybe you might see him get better towards the race. You know, he's not one to back off, is he?
No, not at all, and especially when he knows the championship is so cool. I did the maths again, it was 15 points it could bring it down to today, which is only a third place difference. But yeah, like you said, Carlson's a fighter. He's always been a good race strategist. We've questioned him multiple times, and he's always pulled through with a good strategy. So we'll see what he has to offer in about 10 minutes' time.
Well, he's gone the fastest in Sector 1. He's down in 15th at the minute, is Carlson. I see you, puts in a 1:16.9, TK. We're in the 1:16s.
We are in the 1:16s. I said we could get there. I see you just scraping into them. And yeah, we see the track evolution really spicing things up now as well.
And we're riding on board then with our championship leader. And like you said earlier, done a great job at the Mercedes livery. It really does look like the old black Mercedes, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, him and Sam, his Mercedes teammate, when he's not away or not feeling ill, did a really good job of replicating it.
Oh, I tell you what, Carlson then comes around the last bend. He's going to get a bit of a toe as well. That's going to help him. It's a 1:16.9. I told you, Carlson, he goes pole on a day of illness, and he's the man to beat out there, no matter what is going on with him. Oh my God, what a lap!
This man currently has a 40-degree fever and has just pulled out one hell of a pole lap. Can he keep it though? That is the question.
I tell you what, I see you, only 0.003 of a tenth behind him. That's how close it is here already with this really heating up.
Yeah, it's going to be so close. I mean, I see he's probably only a few tenths off. He can probably gain that in one corner alone. So we'll see what happens.
Just doing another mic check there, guys. Am I okay now? I've just turned the mic down, so hopefully if the chat can let me know if I'm okay. Well, yeah, so perfect. Nathan Clark, I believe you need to get out of the stream and get yourself on a lap. Down in 18th at the minute, Nathan Clark. A lot of improvement to do. 1.3 seconds is off the pole at the minute, but it's looking very close out there. Top 15 covered by a second.
Yeah, it's always been so close in qualifying here, and it's mere tenths in it most of the time.
Fatty then, just about to click on there, he's invalidated his lap, so we'll have to quickly come back in, get the new fresh boots on, and see if he can go again. Oyster down in 5th place, and he's done the same thing. TTG Chris then, through Sector 2, let's keep an eye on him, TK.
Yeah, he's up. I think he's a little bit slow through Sector 1. But we'll keep an eye on where he is as we exit Sector 2 here. He might have just lost a lot of time here in Sector 1 now. He's 2 seconds down.
AFC Waffles backed out as well, so it looks like everyone's just getting ready.
Ooh, someone spun ahead of him.
Oh, it's Reese Thomas. Reese Thomas has spun. Has he got wing damage? No, he's got no wing damage. He's spun. He's just about to get going again. Oh dear. Oh, he's gone again. Oh, ooh, what a show.
Good save. Good save.
Good save. He did on purpose. He knew he was getting live streamed. So, yeah, getting out of the way of the drivers, but has he got enough time to get in and out? 3 minutes left to go.
I don't think so.
It's going to be very, very close. That could be his qualifying over.
It's going to be a close one. You'd be brave to try and get in and out. He's going to probably go for it, but it'll be seconds in it whether he can get in and out here.
Yeah, he's got to go quick. But riding on board then with Slapbus then, a very competitive driver in this league, but a little bit out of position so far. But he's got it all to do here.
Yeah, like we said, there's a long race ahead, especially around Australia. Safety cars are very well known around this track, and that can quite easily shift things up.
Oh, he gets very wobbly through there, almost loses it. Doesn't invalidate, but he has backed out. He's going to have to go one more time on the same set, and with hardly any ERS to God, what are we doing now?
We're about to slap us here, because I think the name cut out.
Yes, Slapbus, yeah.
Love it. You just started saying someone got loosed on. Like, who's he on about?
He's going to go again. We're going to have a very busy track, guys. A lot of them are coming out now. Mansu in the Alfa. He is half. No? What is he doing? No, he's invalidated. He's going to go again. No, the driver's not getting it right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all. I think someone's invalidated 7 and 8. Maybe a big crash.
IFE crash. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He nearly bottled it. He's blocked the pit lane. He's got to be careful. He's not going to get disqualified here. He's made a mite mess of this. He locked up the front, and it looked like he was going straight into that wall. Managed to save it. A very lucky man to not get disqualified there. But that'll be his qualifying over, TK.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that one. IFE crashed at the 7 and 8 turn, just went straight on into the wall. That also caused Death Peacock, I believe, to have issues. But I think there's a few drivers now trying to push the limit of their cars and actually finding the wall as a consequence.
Well, it's hard to keep on a single driver here. There's going to be a lot of drivers following through, trying to get a lap in. We've got guys coming to pits that have not got it right. And that'll be their qualifying over. We've got Ice Break going through Sector 1 in the Alfa Romeo. He's in a good position today. Yeah,
he's doing really well. It's I don't want to say unusual to see him up that high, but doing really well. Gagley's just thrown himself on the grass.
I'll tell you what, keep an eye on Ice Break. He's only 2 tenths off pole position here. He's up on his time by about half the tenth. I see you as eyes out. He will not be getting pole today, but will it be on the front row for him? Can Ice Break take it to him here? He's in the last sector. I see he must have had a bit of a moment there, but he's retired the car and it's left it wide open for drivers to get ahead of him. Ice Break slightly goes wide there, not nearly invalidating, but he keeps it together. Through the last turn he goes. Would that have affected his time too much? Oh, he gets a bit of this. Oh my days! Ice Breaks, bottles in on the last turn. And
he's going to reverse over the line.
He's going to reverse over the line. Such a shame. Drivers really pushing these cars to the limit.
Yeah, they know how crucial a couple of tenths could be here. We'll see what the Alpha Tauri does as they come across the line. I think that was Fatty. Yes, it was. Just finishing 13th, not improving.
Riding on with Expo at the minute. Oh, he's invalidated on the last turn as well. Yeeting Toast invalidated. Gracious Bear invalidated. Field invalidated. Andre invalidated. They're all invalidating here on this last run.
Yes, they're pushing so hard. The track's really narrow, deceptively narrow sometimes around here, and that's where they're getting caught out 9 times out of 10.
The only driver, I think, crossed the line here without an invalidation is Oyster. He's currently in P7. Will he improve? He does. He goes to 5th. And I think that may be qualifying over Carlson, the man who is very ill out there today with, like you said, a 40-degree fever, has put it on pole, because I don't think there's a guy on track here that's on a hot lap.
Nope. Not one that's valid anyway. So, yeah, Carlson has managed to hold pole position here. I see in himself, the only guys that got into the 116s. That alone is impressive, but to put it on pole here whilst just suffering with a fever, this man is just built different.
And not only that, this time we've gone plus 2 in respect to top 15 covered by 1 second. And yes, last week was the top 4 was covered by 4 tenths, wasn't it? And the top 4 now covered by the top top 7 are covered by 4 tenths. Fantastic.
Yeah, the maths is mapping.
It's getting closer and closer, isn't it?
It is, and I think it'll be even closer over the next couple of races. Bear in mind where we're heading to. I think it's going to be a very, very good couple of races. Bear in mind, Kota and Monaco, 2 very, very competitive tracks here in the near future.
Yeah, so Carlson then on pole once again today. And joining him on the front row is I See You, I See You. Can he challenge him into turn 1? We'll be soon finding out. TGD Chris then in 3rd. Icebreak in 4th. Oyster in 5th. The Curse in 6th. Flatbush 7th. Wapple in 8th. Gagli in 9th. And round off that top 10 in qualifying is Expo. Up next then, ladies and gentlemen, is the 50% race. Oh God, what have I done here? It's not clicking. It used to click off. It used to go off automatically.
You had the video open.
I had the video open. To think we're trying to do this professionally.
I just for the benefit of stream, I have no control over what's shown on your screen. It's just my face on the camera. And
you have control with the backing music, though, didn't you?
Well, I did forget to add the backing music to the team lineup video. I did do that.
Yeah, that's
in my
that's
defense. I just got back from Silverstone this afternoon.
And you're showing off your new merch already. Go on, give us a 12.
Well, it's got sponsors on it, so I've got to hide it.
It's not Tuatara. How dare you? I'm allowed to because it's Paddy Pat.
Just wait till Tuatara bring out like BTCC merch. Not that it'll ever happen, but if they
you
do.
said it wouldn't. They do merchandise.
They do merchandise. Yeah. We'll see them in Formula 1 in a few years. It'll be fine.
Maybe that's a conversation we have when we go over and see them.
Yeah, just throw a load of money at Formula 1.
No, BTTC.
That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, the money's there. Like, it's good for sponsors because the crowds are fun. Yeah.
So, will weather come into play here? Australia, very, very hot place to be in the world.
Too many spiders.
Do you know what? I watched a TikTok the other day, and as you do, and someone put like the amount of frogs that hide, not just frogs that hide in your toilet underneath the thing that just sit there.
What?
Loads of frogs, yeah. Yeah.
I can deal with frogs, just not spiders. No.
Hang on a minute. No formation lap. No, there is a formation. Yes, Jesus Christ, I got scared then. Right, we'll go back into the game then, and TK will take us away at the start of this Grand Prix today, because I want to get him some clips on the old TikTok. I feel like there's been too much of me. So, no pressure. But,
are you feeling okay? Too much of you? That's not something you normally say.
I know, right? But I want to see some TK TikToks on the platform to showcase how good he is. So no pressure, but there you go. You're taking this one, bro.
Okay, I've got to get Crack back in. That sounds dodgy. I've got to get Crack back in because he did like that.
Look at his face. Right, let's get back into the game.
You're in the stream. I have invited you, I promise. Here we go then, drivers lining up on our grid spots. Carlson will take the pole position of this Australian Grand Prix, I believe, left-hand side of the track. He has the better run down to turn 1 as he lines up against I See You, I See You, who will definitely see Carlson into turn 1. Drivers lining up on the grid. It'll be Reece Thomas taking the final position here in the Verstappen livery, as much as I hate to say that.
I See You, I See You is going to really want to try and attack Carlson really early on here, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He'll try and go down that inside as quick as possible.
He's got two opportunities really. The turn 1, and if you can force him into a defensive move, you might get him outside of turn 2. But then he's also got another chance going into turn 3. But we're almost ready to go here at the Australian Grand Prix. TK, you go for it, my man.
Here we go, everyone. Welcome to Australia and Melbourne for the Tuatara Racing League. It's lights out, and away we go. I see you and Icebreaker Nick both jumping the start. Carlson falling down 2 positions early on. TGT Chris wanting to make an early jump up here. He jumps up to P2 net as I see you and Icebreaker both get a drive through from the start. Ousters up into the podium positions as well as the rest of them file through turns 1 and 2 nice and cleanly. It's going to be side by side though with the Curse and Slapboss here into turn 2. Oh, it's just getting through. Slapboss gets around the outside, gets the position made. There's a little bit of contact further back, so we see Reese Thomas and Fatty dropping further down the order. Nathan Clark gets a time penalty already for track limits as everyone files through sector 1 nice and comfortably. Patty, how was that start for you?
Well, it wasn't turn 2 for a start, but Icebreak and I see you. Really having a horrible start to this race. Great qualifying. But their race is pretty much done with unless we see a safety car in this race. We've got his retirement here early on. It's Ifa Crack out on lap 1 of this race. Crazy scenes going on in the start of this race today.
Yeah, already a victim of turns 7 and 8. Found himself in the wall on the right-hand side. It's almost like the car slingshot himself onto the right-hand side barrier. Will we see a safety car this early?
It looks like we've got green lights again, but TTG Chris struggling around Australia a little bit here, and he's under a lot of pressure from the man Oyster. Oyster taken to the inside, but it looks like Chris has got the top end speed here, going through turn 1, going through turn 2. He's in the slipstream. Is he going to make a move? Remember, no DRS for 2 laps. It's all about the slipstream and under brake, and he still can't get the move done.
Yeah, it's just a really difficult opportunity to get a move done there without the DRS available. He's almost going to buy this time a little bit. The back straight will probably be his friend here. That little bit longer and a nice dive into a high-speed chicane. As you see, our tyre strategy is popping up on the screen as well.
Yes, indeed we do. But very, very smart for Icebreaker and ICUC to get that drive-through done as early as possible. Like you said, safety cars are a big thing here. And by the look of it, so are the track limits today. 2 drivers already with a 3-second penalty for track limits.
Yeah, what they don't want to do is be caught out by an early safety car and have not taken that penalty, because what will happen is the grid will bunch back up again and they'll have to dive into the pits when the safety car returns, and that will kind of throw them a lot further back than they find themselves at the moment. And actually, if you look on your screens in the bottom right hand corner, you see they're pretty much caught back up with the pack already. Yeah,
so they've got a lot to do then. Qualifying was really good for them, but they've got a recovery drive to do now. And looking on board in the beautiful Alpine pink livery, and he is right on the back of the reserve driver of Reese Thomas. Can he get moved done? No DRS still, so it's all single file at the minute.
Yeah, it's not particularly overtaking circuit without the DRS. It's quite a high downforce circuit on this game. We're talking kind of mid-35s for the wings. So we probably won't see any overtakes without the DRS unless it's the driver error in front.
Oyster gets ahead of TGD Chris. Oyster looking very racy out there today. And Chris then needs to get back. But look at Carlson, 1.9 seconds ahead of anyone out on the field already.
Yeah, Carlson's actually just going to run his race the way he wants to. DRS wing open on Chris. Will we see an overtake here down into 7 and 8? Oh, he actually backs off early than he has to. Gets that wing really close, and I wonder if he's just biding his time playing with Oyster a little bit.
Well, normally Chris is quite good at saving his ERS. He's got 23% left.
I wonder if he had to burn it a little bit precautiously because he was under pressure from Oyster so much. And actually, Oyster then got the move done probably earlier than Chris was anticipating.
Well, it's there. Sorry, couldn't fight there. Chris on the DRS zone again, but doesn't look like it's close enough to get that move to turn 1, but he gets another chance here. If he can get this right, Oyster's just looking so smooth and planted through them turns.
Yeah, I wonder if he's running a slightly higher downforce setup, but he seems to be able to hold his own on the straights as well, so whatever setup he's running seems to be working really well for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Def Peacock then ahead of Andre. Andre has lost 2 positions in 2 turns. Not a good... he's fighting. He's on the hard compound tyre, and those tyres just not up to speed yet.
No, not quite yet. We'd expect them to kind of come into their own probably about now. The heat's definitely getting into them. But I wonder if it might be a tyre pressures issue or maybe just a track temperature issue that's not as high as you once anticipated.
AFC Waffle gets ahead of Mansour. We're missing a lot of overtaking here. Not great on the cameras.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris got a little wobble out of turn 8 and is actually going to allow Slapboss to go side by side into turn 9.
So there are your tyre choices. The reason why Carlson is 1.5 seconds ahead, he went on the soft compound tyre. Now they're starting to reel him back in again.
Yeah, the soft compound tyre is good for a couple of laps around here. But with the heat forces and actually the G-force through the turns, they tend to drop off quite quickly.
The biggest gainer then so far in this race, Reese Thomas up 9 places as we have got yellow flags. And what is that for?
Gagley having a spin by the look of it out of the final turn.
Okay,
Yes.
TT Chris then on the back of Oyster. We've got the Curse, who is a reserve driver today for the Ferrari, staying with the guys at the front, isn't he?
Yeah, he's managing to hold on well. If he can stay in that DRS train, he can sit back and conserve some ERS for later on in this race.
Nathan Clark picks up another 3 seconds. He's on 6 seconds.
Yeah, he's not having a great race. I wonder if tyres maybe not working for him out there like we had a couple of weeks ago.
Chris then on the back of Oyster again, starting. He gets a bit of a wobble there, Oyster, and that is going to be one of the easiest moves he's had to do all day.
Actually allowed 2 overtakes on him. Slapbus gets through as well, and Slapbus is immediately trying to get past Chris here.
It's all getting a bit chopsy here, and it's just helping Carlson's race, isn't it?
Yeah, all this battling is just allowing Carlson to just keep in front. His time has dropped by about 4 tenths, but he's still holding that lead outside of DRS range.
I think Slapbus has got DRS and Chris hasn't. So will he make a move here into turn 3? He's got to get a good exit. I'm not sure he's close enough. He's gaining on him. He's going to take a lunge. He takes the dummy, but does not make that move on this occasion.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about moving under braking. He seems to just come back onto the racing line under braking there, so maybe the stewards will have a look at that later on. But interesting point to note, Mansour, who started on the soft tyre, has come in for the mediums already.
Yeah, so the longer Carlson stays out on the soft, the better it's going to be. So, with, like you said, with those battling, it's just helping his times at the minute, isn't it?
It's helping his time, it's killing his tyres being the lead car. Look at the time between him and Chris. It's dropped down to almost only half a second here. Nearly a third of what it was only a lap ago. Yeah,
he's in the DRS zone now. Is it time for Carlson to come into the pits on lap 6 of this race? I think it is. It's a safety car, TK.
Yeah, perfect timing for Carlson to come into the pits, get some new rubber. Cause of that safety car was Nathan Clark. He also had pitted last lap along with Mansour, found himself with barrier. I believe exit of turn 2, start of turn 3.
Yeah, it's very difficult, this track. It's a really fun track, but it's still very dangerous with the grips, isn't it?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people call it the high-speed Monaco a few times, looking how close the walls are and how high-speed this track can be.
We've got a Red Bull in the Alpine pink livery garage. I don't think they'll be liking that out there.
Yeah, it's going to change his tyres really slowly.
Brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
It's like when Hamilton first went to Mercedes and he pulled into the McLaren garage.
Talking about strategies there, it's really helped Carlson. He started on the soft tyre and hello Chris, slow that down the man. Because everyone else has pitted, so he stayed out in front.
Yeah, he's gone onto the hard. Bear in mind, there's a couple of guys behind him. Icebreak Nick didn't pit. He's actually the only one who hasn't pit along with Fatty. Even though they haven't pit, he's managing to hold the lead in this race. So yeah, fair play to him, but he will have to make the hards last 22 laps.
He will. So most of the drivers have pitted on the hard compound tyre. Interestingly, TTD Chris has gone on for another set of mediums, so he's going medium, softs by the look of it.
It's an interesting strategy, maybe banking on a safety car later, hoping he can be quicker in this stint.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. He's really putting the trust in, like you say, a possible future safety car. but he's going to be very, very quick at the end of this race, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He will have to pit. Will we see another safety car? That would help him if he did. But of course, if this safety car comes out too early for him, he's then no better off. He's got to be on the hards.
Yeah, exactly. He might be better off at the end of the race with fresher hards. But, I mean, that pit time's probably not going to be negated by pitting again, if that makes sense.
So, yeah, 2 retirements then in this race so far. Nathan Clark and Crack, who bottomed it on lap 1. First safety car then, lap 7. Still a long way to go today.
Yeah, they've done all right to get to lap 7. We're almost about, I think, just under a quarter of the way through this race. As we come across the line, we are about a quarter of the way through this race.
What was quite interesting, I think, is we normally see the top 4, slightly, pulling away, and we have 2. Remember, every week we have 2 separate races, don't we? We have top 4, and then we have a battle throughout the whole race for the 4th, 5th, and 10th, don't we? We normally have 2. But what was interesting is that we had pretty much the whole top 10 really battling it out very close to each other.
Yeah, and what this safety car has done is effectively bunched up that top 10 with some even lower down runners. Obviously, you've got Fatty and Icebreaker Nick up there as well. This could really cause some chaos in that front leading pack, the peloton, so to speak. And we're really interested to see where that split occurs this week.
So I believe safety car will be in this lap. All the cars are on the back of the safety car, ready to get going. And Fatty, Icebreak are the only ones that have not pitted in this race, so they will have to make an pit stop. Chris, Newton Toast, Mansi, Andre will all have to pit again because I just don't think those mediums will go to the end.
They'll be screaming if they make it, but they won't have any race pace left in them. So it'll be interesting to see what the team strategists have got in mind at the moment.
But not only that, like say we're seeing, as it comes through to the pit window, we're seeing a lot of drivers really struggling for grip out there. So it becomes not only lap time damage, but really risking yourself a spin there, aren't you?
Yeah, the drop-off in this game has been absolutely brutal compared to previous. So that's something that our drivers have had to watch out for.
But I think that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
100%. It keeps you on your toes. And here we go again. We're racing. The lights go green. And Carlson gets a great jump off the field of Fatty on those beautiful, fresh, hard tyres. And racing again we go, TK.
Yeah, I feel Fatty could actually be a bit of a slow coach here. He's on old hard, but they're not going to get fired up as much as Carlson's might have been able to.
Slapbus then up into P4, gets a jump done on Icebreak. We've got cars going wide in the distance, but we'll stay on this battle. As Slapbus really feeling racy here. Fatty under a lot of pressure on those 8-lap-old hard compound tyres, but I tell you what, Chris has got to get this move done. He can't be hanging about. He's on fresh mediums. They're going side by side, and here he comes. But not only him, Slapbus goes around the outside. Can he get the move done before turn 7 and 8? It's side by side through here. Oh, it's absolutely magical. These 2 drivers going through, and Slapbus just gets ahead, and that was great driving from all them.
How they managed to get through turn 7 8 side by side, I have no idea. That shows the pure respect these drivers have for each other. And actually, Fatty, fair play, but probably backing out a little bit on the final corner.
Yeah, that was crucial for Chris and Slapbus to get that job early, get that job done early, and get back on the back of Carlson. It is their best opportunity today to get him, with him being ill. I feel bad saying it, but he's doing a good job out there. But it's in respect to their drivers, it's their best chance today to really close that deficit, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to kind of make that. We've got a retirement in the pit lane. Gracious Bear goes wide from the restart and does retire in the pits. But yeah, like you said, Chris has got to make this move work. He's on the mediums. He's on the softer compound compared to the race leader. This is the crucial moment of the race for him.
Yes, indeed. So, what have we got here then? Oyster on the back or Fatty. Fatty struggling on those hard tyres. The speed difference is crazy right now, but they're going to go side by side here, aren't they? It's brilliant. There's 3 drivers. Go on, TK.
They're going to go side by side through turn 7 and 8. It's Elsa and Fatty again going side by side. Fatty this time dotted back out into the gravel he goes, and through goes Expo.
Great drive from Expo. He was patient. Them two coming together. God knows how they didn't go into the wall. The space just wasn't there, and Expo did not need a second invitation for that.
So Alster pushes Fatty into the gravel, leaves that gap open for the McLaren, and the McLaren says, thank you very much, I'm going through.
So he's got a job to do here, Expo, because the top 3 are 3 seconds ahead of the top 3, 3 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he's got to try and pull away. He's got to get out of the DRS of Oyster, or at least drag Oyster along to try and catch up to this front 3 here.
I see you gets ahead of Fatty. But we've got a bit of a battle going on here. The McLaren gets a bit of a tank slapper on the rear end, which has put him under pressure. But the Aston Martin can't attack because he's also got the Ferrari and Mansu right on his heels as well. This is very close racing here at this point of the race.
Yeah, Walpole's got to try and push here. Walpole, Mansu's a little bit further back. This is where Walpole can try and make the move done into turn 7.
He's close enough. A little slow car ahead. And he's really gaining on his teammate. Oh, he almost touches the rear of his car there, just going through. And what a shot that was.
Yeah, Oyster, eating toast and was hitting the other reserve of the curse. And this is actually holding up one of the main drivers, and, well, 2 of the main drivers, Walpole and Mansi.
Here we go then. This is great, tight racing. The Ferrari goes slightly wide, and the Alfa Romeo comes round the outside and to the inside of the last turn, and here's head. And the Ferrari is struggling out there at the minute.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's quite going on with Mansu here. He doesn't seem to be very comfortable. I wonder if it's a tyre issue. He's on. No,
not Mansu. Mansu's Alfa Romeo.
Sorry, Curse. That's what I meant. It's confusing with deliveries.
Yeah, they were very close. I think I made the mistake as well, to be honest. But Wapole's looking very racy indeed on the back of eating toast, and this group is ever so close.
Yeah, nothing really separates them, and actually his teammate ICU is now catching up to the rear of this group to try and put an attack on the curse.
Gagli in the Alpine car gets ahead of Lewis Thomas.
I reckon Nick's gone round in sector 1, lost a bit of front wing, and he will be doing the Alfa Romeo team much good. Icebreak
had a great qualifying and got himself a drive through. The safety car came out, really helped his race. But since that, he's not getting the grips with the track.
Yeah, something's not adding up for him. Maybe it's a tyre issue. But yeah, something's not going well for him.
I think we're going to see Oyster getting himself into P4 very, very soon. He's looking like he wants that position in P4, and I think he's going to be a sitting duck down the straight. He's got to get a good exit here. Will he be close enough to make the move?
I reckon he might be. Expo doesn't have DRS. He's going to wonder how much. He's not even burning ERS, so maybe just holding on for a later position when he can't be come back at with the second DRS zone.
He goes to the outside here on Expo, and it's going to be side-by-side action here. Through the turn they go. He's got the inside for the next turn. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he does. Oyster then up into P4, and very clean racing from him.
Yeah, great overtake by the Alfa. It's Alfa Romeo. Got the move done, and actually was smart. Waited for that second DRS zone and then made the move when he knew Expo couldn't come back in.
Carlson in P2. TG Chris has got the lead of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry we missed that one, but yeah, Chris is doing what he needs to do.
Exactly, he's making those medium tyres work. But Carlson can almost just sit on the back of him now and almost not do anything because he does not have to pit again.
That is correct. But yeah, Chris taking a huge gamble here on effectively maybe another safety car in the race. But doing a 2-stop, that's the way he's gone. But he's got to push away. He's got to get out of the DRS zone. But he has used quite a lot of his ERS compared to Carlson's 50%.
Yeah, he's used that probably to try and get the overtake done. Carlson got very slowly through the final few corners. Looked like he locked up his rear tyres a little bit as well, but that will help Chris try and get away. But the gap is coming back down again as Carlson is on the hunt for that Red Bull.
He is in a great position, Carlson. What did I say before the race? He might be ill, but he just comes across as one of those drivers that just, like, he's a Kimi Räikkönen. Like, he just doesn't moan, he doesn't say a lot, he just gets on with it. I mean, the fact that the guy is committed to have a 40-degree fever, racing at this level, at this speed, and still managed to put... And I tell you what, if he does get a podium today, I bet he doesn't say a lot. I bet he's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, what could you have done better? I don't know.
I don't know, probably not been ill.
Yeah, I think we need to count for how many times we've mentioned Carlson's ill on this stream.
Oh, bless him. But he's doing a good job. He's holding the fort at the minute, and he's in a great position, albeit in P2. He's on the better tyre if we see no more safety cars.
Yeah, he's in the better position. He knows what he's got to do. Carlson's an experienced racer and knows how to play the game, so to speak.
Ooh, a slight little touch there on the rear diffuser of the Aston Martin, Yeeting Toast, just slightly outbraking, but I believe it was just the slightest of touch, and I don't think he's got any damage there. But Yeeting Toast is getting a little bit frustrated behind the Aston Martin.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit annoyed. He knows he's trying to get the move done, but Walpole keeps getting that DRS from Mansu in front of him.
Jayfield then gets ahead of Evden and Andre, but they're swapping places again. And the Williams driver, the official Williams driver this week for the first time, is back in front, but only for a moment as Jayfield goes round the outside and he could lose 2 positions here. Because the Tuatara, is he going to take a lunge to the inside? No, he does not. He holds on to P13, but Jayfield, nice little move around the outside.
Yeah, Jayfield actually gets himself a time penalty as he's doing that as well, so maybe not paid off quite as much as he was hoping. Oh, he gets very slowly and lets both of them back past.
Ooh, not a good few turns there for whatever livery that is.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a yellow car.
I'm not sure. I just think he's gone for one random there today.
Look what team.
Anyway, let's go back on to the battle in here. We said Yeeting Toast was getting frustrated, but that's because Wapple is doing an excellent job at defending against him, and he's bringing the Ferrari into this as well. And look how close this race is getting now. Wapple just about managing to stay in the DRS zone of I see you, but I think it's going to be a matter of time now before the McLaren goes for it. He turns to the inside, but he backs out again. And once again, he has to stay behind. Great defensive drive from Wapple.
Yeah, great defending from Yeeting Toast. And these two are going to be battling out for quite a long time to go, I feel that one. Jayfield's just head up, is in the Haas car. Apparently Haas is now yellow.
Fair enough. The thing is about this battle, though, Yeeting Toast is not good. He can't afford to be behind an Aston Martin on the hard tyres right now. As Wapple gets a little bit wobbly, he's got to take his chance here and use these medium tyres while they're at the optimum time to do so. And I think finally, Yeeting Toast gets past the Aston Martin. I think the Ferrari follows through as well, though.
Yeah, he does indeed. Both of them get past Walpole.
Oh, he almost loses it through turn 8 and 9. Wow, what a save from Yeeting Toast. He did the work, but unfortunately, he gets a wobble on and he's right back behind the Aston Martin, but he was very fortunate to not put that in the wall.
Yeah, great save by the McLaren driver. Don't know how he managed to keep that car straight, if I'm being completely honest. I think he was almost horizontal at one point.
Wapple then goes into the pits. And,
interesting to see what tyre he's going to go on. Maybe the mediums. Yes, it is.
JB coming in with the raid of 16. What a lad. Welcome in. You joined us here in the Tuatara Championship. We're on lap 17 of 29. And it's been an exciting race so far. And a lot of battle. We've had one safety car, but it seems to have calmed down. A lot of close racing going on at the minute, isn't it, TK?
Yeah, all so close together. The reserves and the full-time drivers playing nicely at the moment. As Slapboss has left the session, I will try and get him back in. But yeah, so close racing. Yeah,
once again, guys, thank you very much, JB, for the raid of 16. I shall... oh, sorry, I don't have the shout-out for you in this one. I do apologise. Expo. goes ahead of Slapbus. Slapbus needs to get back in as quick as he can. But we've got a safety car, TK. Lap 17. I think it was the commentator's curse there. We said about a safety car in lap 7 and lap 17. We've got another one. That has helped Chris. Or has it?
Well, I don't know.
I had to think about it there, because has it? He's going to have to go on the hards.
I know who it has helped, or should have helped. It should have helped the slap bus.
Yeah, but Carlson is going to put...
gone through him.
Carlson's now going to put mediums on, right?
Yeah.
He's got mediums again.
Carlson can go mediums.
Yeah, Carlson can, but Chris has got
Chris
mediums
can't.
again.
Hold on, I'm going to check something.
He's got mediums. Oh my! What have I just seen in the pits?
No. Chris started.
I think I just seen a glitch of the Aston Martin. That was nuts.
Chris started on the hards.
Oh, did he? Okay, fair enough.
So he can go medium to the end.
Okay, so I stand corrected. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. So Slap Carlson and TG Chris are all they're on the medium tyre. They're going to be battling out. Slapbus didn't pit. He is stayed out, I'm guessing, on the hard tyre. Let's have a little look here. Yeah, he's stayed out. Wow, that's interesting.
He was AI. He didn't get the choice to go in, unfortunately. Could this ruin his race? That's the question.
Well, he's on 11 lap old hards. They will go to the end. And when it comes to the end of this race, we do see a lot of drivers taking more chances. So we may see another safety car where he could maybe put on those softs at the end. I don't know. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that he disconnected from the race. But hopefully he's back in.
This is a bit of a random one. Can we appreciate all the penalty markers from 7th down, but no one in the top 6 has got one?
Yeah, penalties been an issue. Track limit's been an issue out there today for most of these drivers.
It's really nice.
We haven't really seen penalties in this league a lot. A lot of drivers are very clean and they keep it within track limits. We only see like 1 or 2 with penalties of track limits. Normally quite a league where we never see them. But today, clearly the opposite.
To be fair, Australia's now Slapbus goes in. Now under his own control, he goes in. So this can really throw him right to the back of the grid.
I think it's smart to do so, but
I think he almost had to, didn't he? Because there was no way.
I think if he stayed out, he would have gone down the grid fairly quickly. He was on 11 lap old hards.
That's smart from the Slapbus. He's gone in to serve a penalty. That's really smart. You put the softs on for a lap. He was going to go back in to serve a 5 second. Has now come back out with fresh tyres and a penalty down.
And then gone on the grass just for good measure.
Oh yeah.
So he's come out in 13th place. He's got a lot. He's got 6 lap old mediums on.
Who has?
Slapbus.
Yes, he has. Maybe they're the only pair he had.
He's in the mud.
They will see him to the end, but again, they will be screaming with fear.
So Carlson then, on a day of illness, TK, is still in the lead and will be taking these drivers away once the safety car comes in. Chris is up there, Expo, Mansu, Oyster, all looking racing, sticking with these guys. Fairly the top 7. Like I said, anyone can win this race from the top 7 up, I would say. When it comes down to pace.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. It all could happen. Safety car's in this lap, of course. And what will happen next? Anyone's guess is as good as mine.
Slowing the pack down. Getting ready to launch himself. Lap 19 then of 29. 10 laps remaining. It's going to be a 10-lap shootout on the mediums unless we see any carnage towards the end of this race. He's getting ready to go. He's gone. He's away. And I tell you what, he's got the jump on T. Chris. And Expo's right on the back of him here. Can he make a move down into turn 2? We got drivers going side by side further back. I think it's a Ferrari there, but all of them go through nicely indeed. The Alpine, though, must have missed the jump because he's a little bit further back already.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened with the Slapbus. Slapbus is actually back into the pits for fresh tyres again. So maybe he put the wrong set on, who knows?
It's gone from bad to worse for Slapbus.
Really
So unfortunate, but, you know, like Australia, anything could happen at any point. So we've still got time and a chance to get back into this if we see a safety car.
Yeah, you never know. It'll come within the next couple of laps if it's going to come. But we've also seen people DNF and people get points, so we'll see what happens. Everyone's still in it, but Chris is going to go for a move here, almost into turn 7. Oh, he was looking like it anyway. He was right on the back of Carlson, and actually he's got a better exit out of turn 8 as well. Have we lost Paddy? Well, you've got DK commentating for a little bit. It's keen to see who he's focusing on. He's on with Carlson as we watch Chris, who's behind him. He's going to want to try and make a move. They're both on similar lap-old tyres here, both changing at that safety car. And this is where the fight down for first place will happen. There's 8 laps of this Australian Grand Prix.
I see you. Goes to the inside then of Oyster. It's going to be side-by-side action here. And he does manage to defend Oyster. Great defensive move there. But Wapple, I see you. Was really looking racy there on Oyster. Sorry, TK, I went for a drink.
That's all right. I just heard silence. I thought I'd just take over a little bit.
Yeah, so very close racing as it stands towards the end of this race. And Chris then, he's got to get a win today, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really would be a slap in the face.
It's got to be today. You know, you've got to take advantage of other drivers' misfortune. If Carlson holds on to this win...
Oh, yellow flags. We've got an AlphaTauri down. Def Peacock is out of this race. Def Peacock, DNF. Will that bring out another safety car here? It doesn't look like it's going to. No, we got green flags again. And that was very, very lucky indeed to see no safety car. Slapbus would have been crossing his fingers there.
Yeah, it's another victim to the high-speed chicane here, and Carlson has got away with that on this occasion. I think what Carlson doesn't want here is another safety car, because that will allow Chris to bunch up and potentially get him on another restart. As the scenario currently stands, Carlson holds all the cards in terms of controlling where Chris goes.
And he's got a lot more ERS as it stands as well. So managing the race as he has been for most of this season. This is why he's in front. He's very, very good at race management, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's probably one of the best in the league at race management, especially when it comes to defending a lead or staying in second place. But Chris is going around the outside into the chicane, gets the move done. And Carlson now finds himself in P2.
Oh my days, that was fantastic, but it's bunched up all 4 of them. And round they go, round the outside. Chris and Carlson and Expo and Mansu. It's bunched it right up. It's getting very juicy here with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, this is so tweaky bum time for a few of the drivers. Carlson finds himself in a quite unusual scenario here, back in P2.
Carlson in P2. Can he get back in front of this race? You've got an Alfa Romeo making moves on the McLaren. Goes to the inside. Oh, it's carnage! They've come together through turn 1. And that is a yellow flag, and so unfortunate for Oyster. He's had a great race so far. And once again, no safety car. Green flags we go again. Oh, such a shame.
Yeah, if that didn't bring out a safety car, it's very unlikely we'll see one from this point forward. Definitely not from lap 24, as the safety car probably won't have enough laps to go in, out, and shake it all about. But Carlson,
I like that. I like that. And shake it all about.
Is Carlson still on the back of Chris? Mansu holding on for a podium. These 3 are the peloton as things stand.
Okay. Mansu then seeing an opportunity here on Carlson. Is the length of this race starting to take its toll on the ill driver tonight of Carlson? I think it is. Mansu goes to the inside and gets into P2. Carlson now in P3.
Yeah, this is a very unusual scenario for the Mercedes driver. He's got to be careful because he doesn't want to try a stupid move and cause all three of them to end up in the barrier. But I'll tell you who's coming to play now. It is I See You. He's joining the peloton, broken away from the chase pack, and now wants to come say hello
Carlson
to these
gets back ahead. He's going for 2 moves. He's done it. 2 moves. Unbelievable, Carlson. And he just takes them at ease.
Hey, Bowser, and I See You wants to do the same and just backs out.
Unbelievable.
I See You saw what Carlson did, said I can do that too, but just didn't have the confidence to pull it off down into turn 3.
Whatever you can do, I can do better.
That is what I See You is singing in his helmet right now.
Carlson, fantastic job there. 2 moves into turn 1. Brilliant stuff. And back in front he goes. Chris has got to do it all again.
Definitely, it's all back to play for 5.5 laps of racing to go, and the Verstappen liveried car has to get past one of the toughest drivers on the grid.
And it has become a 4-way battle here, and it's all about as well. You've got I See You just there to pounce at any moment for any of these guys to make a mistake. But be careful, Curse and Expo are coming onto this train as well.
They are definitely managing to pull away from the chase back to join this peloton, and this is where it could come down to 4 laps remaining of this Australian Grand Prix.
Have you seen a league like this before? It's lap 25. Look at the battles we've got here. How close these drivers are racing. It's like the top end leagues you ever see. It's fantastic. I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
How's he managed to save that? He's dropped down to P4, but to keep that on the circuit, he's done massively well to keep that car under control.
I just couldn't speak for a minute there. I just was gobsmacked.
It's a very unusual mistake from the Mercedes driver, showing how long this race is taking its toll on him at the moment. But that promotes I See You to the podiums. Carlson says no thank you, goes around the outside. Will he get a move to 7? Yes, he does. Gets the move back, takes the podium back from I See You.
My God!
That's mine.
Oh, he's coming back out in the slightly touch. This is getting chopsy, but it's still fantastic racing here from all of these guys. Oh, what has gone on there? It's safety car. We've got a safety car in lap 25. What is going on? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow.
Carlson's gone round again. Oh, my days. And it's a reset to track. Carlson, you can't do that.
Ooh, he's spun again. He's really not happy on whatever tyres he's on. They're really overcooked. Almost spins into the pit lane.
Wow. He really did heat up those tyres. He's got to go into the pits again. And Carlson, for the first time this year, could be out of the podium positions here.
I think it's actually the first time he'll finish out the points, if I remember correctly. Let me try and find the lead real quick. Yes, the only time, so he's out of the podium once this year. That was in Austria. He finished 10th. This will be the only time in the first 7 races that he won't finish in the points.
Well, there's still time, yeah. If anyone could do it, it is Carlson. And in a day where he is, like I say, fair play to him, he's turned up today, but he has got a 40-degree fever. I think damage limitations, get some points on the board. It's a good day for him.
It's going to be interesting on the restart. This is where tyres and penalties come in. I mean, look at penalties alone. Carlson has none, and all the way up to pretty much 4th has a penalty. He just has to stay with the pack here, surely.
He's got the speed, hasn't he?
He does.
But of course, as we see, drivers defensive. It's going to be 1 lap, I believe, of DRS. Is it? I think it's going to look at around. Yeah, we're going to have 1 lap of DRS.
We'll probably have this lap and another lap on the safety car. That'll be lap 28 to start, so it will be no laps of DRS. There'll be no DRS here.
So, wow, that really has spiced things up. Mansu will be taking the restart here. He's on 8-lap-old mediums, but crucially, he has no penalties.
I mean, he's going to have to just hold it out for 2 laps. ERS is going to be essential in terms of managing it for these 2 laps. He's got to hold off the curse.
See,
He's had a fantastic drive today.
Mansu, he's always been up there, but they're not up there, but up there, hasn't he? He's been searching for that first win in this league. He knows he can do it. He knows he's got the pace, but it just hasn't worked out for him yet, has it, in respect to getting a race win?
Yeah, Mansu's had a really unfortunate last couple of races with a DNF and a 0 points finish in the last 2. So he'll be looking to get some good points here today, if not, like you said, his maiden win.
Exactly that, and hopefully the nerves don't get the better of him, but he's got the Curse, reserve driver of Curse up there as well. Reese Thomas, the championship leader in the reserve section, is down in 8th place, picking up some points as it stands at the minute. But let's have a little look at the penalties here. With only a few laps left to go. Andre's on 9 seconds. Jay Fields on 21. What happened there?
Wow.
That's very unusual.
Yeah, that is unusual for him to have 21 seconds. Andre, the fresh-in Williams driver, on 9 seconds. That's going to be really punishing for his morale. Everyone else on a mixture of 6 and 3s, which is what you kind of tend to expect around Australia with its tight.
So, slap bus then. Carlson, no penalties. They've got good pace. We'll keep an eye out here on where they finish, because we're going to come out. We're going to stay on the front, but just keep an eye on Carlson and Slapbus as we go through these 2 laps. But we've got to keep on the front. Mansu could get his maiden win here. He's got 2 laps to hold off the rest of the field, and it's his turn to get this race underway.
Yeah, he's going to try and get a jump here on the Curse. This is so important. We know how quick the Curse can be. As they come around the final corner, Mansu does release, and actually the Curse gets off Whale pretty much with him following in that slipstream as Mansu tries to weave down into turn 1. There's a couple going side by side further back, but it's all single file at the front here, heading through turns 1 and 2. Yellow flags are flown, but that's not important at the moment. TGT Chris makes a move on Expo into P3. That's the move that he needs to do to get this race win.
Yeah, we had. I think we had yellow flags. We've got 2 drivers coming together. It looks like a Red Bull and Alpha Tauri. Andre and Icebreak Nick. You've got Carlson up into the top 10 already. Mansu's in the lead of this race. You've got Chris in P3. He's got no penalties either. Gagley's making moves on the soft compound tyre as well. It's all going on here.
Yeah, it's all so vital. The 2 without penalties in the top 3. This is where it's all going to come down to. I think penalties, especially in that later group of the top 10.
Carlson now up into P9. I said keep an eye on him. He's making absolute moves here, but he's got to keep it together. He's got to keep it clean. He's got to stay away from any penalties. At the minute, doing a very good job. But let's go back on to Chris. Chris wants to get the win here. He needs to get the win. He needs to get the deficit on Carlson. So he's got to start making moves here. He's got to get to Mansu.
Yeah, he's got to get that move done on track. No penalties for Mansu. Like we've been saying, that move has to be done this lap. 1 lap remaining as they come across the line. Just a few miles remaining for Chris to get a maiden win here.
Carlson now up into 7th place. He's on an absolute flyer here. Could we see Carlson clinch a podium? I don't know. It could happen. Gagley up into P5. He's flying on these last 2 laps.
Yeah, he's so quick. It's so everything to play for. I'm losing my words at the moment.
Carlson up into 6th place. He's still going for it. He's absolute on a charge. Go on, Carlson. You get that podium. You deserve it. Go for it, my man. Gagley on the back of Expo. He's making more moves here. He gets a move done before the next turn, but he did go off a little bit there. Was that a penalty for him? J Field gets a 3-second. Expo coming right back at him here. It's side by side through here. We're going to go. Are they going to go side by side through turn 7 and 8? The Alpine takes to the inside. They go single file. And my gosh, this last lap is really heating up. Carlson is right on the back of this group as well. Is he going to make any moves here? Onto the inside they go. He goes to the outside. Alpine covers that off to the inside. Mansu then has stayed out in front for this race. Will it be Mansu getting the race win? His maiden win here, if he can hold on for the last 2 turns. He's got to keep it together here. He's held off everyone. He's got to do it. It's Mansu in the Alfa Romeo. He's got to get the win. Australia goes to Mansu. TG Chris and Carlson. Yes! Carlson! What a recovery drive! Gets a P3! Woo! Fantastic! Tuatara Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Tuatara Championship.
Wow. He's gone from 14th to 3rd in 2 laps.
What a man! What a man! He just likes coming in for the podium interviews, doesn't he?
He does. He loves us, really, even though he doesn't speak much.
Don't forget to take photos of the finish positions. Wow! What an exciting end to this race. Once again, the Tuatara Championship does not disappoint.
Not at all. It was great racing from start to finish. A late safety car brought out some excitement here. And I'll tell you what, that is how you finish a race.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Mansu. He stayed out on those mediums for the last 2 laps of racing. He kept his nerve and he's got his maiden win here in the Tuatara Championship.
Yeah, great drive by Mansu. We'll get him in for a podium interview in a minute. I'll just get in some photos for our stewards because they do a fantastic job for us.
So then, Mansu gets that P1, TG Christ P2. Does get a bit of deficit on Carlson, but what a showing from Carlson at the end. 14th to finally clinch the 3rd, keeping it clean with no penalties. And he's your last man on the podium. The reserve driver of Curse in 4th. Expo in 5th. Gagley was making moves up there as well. That was great. And he gets fastest lap for good measure and gets that extra point. Slapbus in 7th. Wapple in 8th. Another good drive from the Aston Martin driver. Reese, the reserve driver, championship leader for the reserve section, gets himself in 9th. And Fatty, another reserve driver, in that top 10. 11th then is I See You. And I can't click it. And why can I not move it? Oyster in 12th. Andre in 13th. Jay Field in 14th. And it's not letting me click anything. It's not letting me scroll down.
Press X.
Yeah. Won't let me do it. Oh dear. Well, holy moly.
Are we going to the podium?
Let's go into the podium and we'll see you there where we have a chat with the top 3. It's going to be interesting conversations. Woo! I wasn't even driving and I got sweaty through there.
Right, I'm bringing them across now.
We'll go into the podium interview, yeah?
I've dragged you across. You're here.
Oh, thank you. Whew. Well, chat, were you excited? Were you entertained? These drivers putting on an absolute spectacle here tonight. And once again, not disappointing, especially us in the comms box, and hopefully you guys watching on this Monday evening. Wow, just fantastic. Can't wait to speak to the drivers as well. And TK will let us know. In fact, TK, do you want to take off the interviews today? I seem to do it all the time. I want you to do something.
Yeah, go on then. So we have our race winner Mansu here. How did that go for yourself? Your debut win in the Tuatara Racing League?
It went well. It's pretty surprising on the track, to be honest. One of my worst, but I'm happy that I didn't bottle it this time. So.
Yeah, it was a great drive. Obviously, that late safety car kind of almost letting you get up into those good positions. And how did you cope with those final 2 laps? What was going through your head as that safety car?
I was pretty nervous, to be honest, because I bottle a lot of things, so I just want to do it right this time. And
that's exactly how you did it. You drove a fantastic last couple of laps, keeping it very, very well managed. And congratulations on the race win.
Mansu, congratulations, mate. It's your debut win here in the Tuatara Championship. Like you said, you kept the nerves bottled in and managed to cross that line ahead. And more importantly, kept it clean out there today in respect to track limits. And that ended up being crucial for this race for a lot of drivers, as we'll talk a little bit more later on with Carlson. But Mansu, how do you feel this championship is going to open up for you now? You've managed to get that first win. Do you have the confidence to keep pushing on? And where do you think you can challenge in this championship?
I think the win is pretty much over, but I still think a top 3 is possible, which I'm aiming for. So,
Well, of course, there's top three.
Hopefully P3.
Well, obviously, top three. There's prizes for the top three in this championship, so a lot to play for. And congratulations, Mansu. It really was a great drive for you today, and everyone in the chat is congratulating you as well.
Thank you.
I'll let you take Chris. Pat, go on then.
No, you're doing him today. I'm just.
I'm doing them all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm doing them all.
I'm just going to jump in.
This is how well organised we are for interviews. So yeah, Chris, well done. Great P2 for yourself. Obviously, you jump in on penalties, but how was that race for you? Describe how you're feeling.
Well, of course, it was a very good start to the race. I managed to stay behind Olsen, trying to catch up to Carlson with those softs, but as when I catched up...
I love his accent. I'm sorry, I love his accent. It's brilliant. It's so cool. Carry on, mate. Sorry. Just you don't get this in Sky Sports, only here in the Tuatara Championship.
Thank you. So what I was saying, basically, it was very difficult to get in the DRS at the start of the race with Carlson those softs. It was a very interesting strategy at first, but then I managed to catch up. But then it looked like a really good strategy until that safety car came out. So I had to go on the mediums, and pretty much I was just begging in my mind for another safety car, which did come out. I think in a weird manner. I don't know how it came out. I think safety car on something, most likely.
Yeah, I didn't see what was the cause of it. I think it was maybe debris on the track. It was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, how did you kind of respond from that safety car? What was going through your head? What changed from the initial plan for those last two laps?
So basically, I was just trying to get with Carlson, work together, try and get with DRS, and just try and fight for the win. Of course, we're just trying to fight for the championship, both of us. He's got pretty much the upper hand going into the last 3 rounds. But yeah, it's going to be very, very competitive. It was very competitive at Australia, and yeah, if it continues like this, it'll be very entertaining for me and for him, of course. But it was a very difficult race for me. After the safety car, the third one or second one, I just tried to catch up to Carlson, and pretty much, yeah, it was a hard race.
And then I've got one final question. This is a one-word answer, simple yes or no. Do you think you can win the championship?
Oh, with a yes or
Yes!
no,
Chris, you say yes! Every driver out there says yes. Even if they're 20th, they say fucking yes, alright? They just say yes. Full stop. No, you go bat out to hell. No, it was a great race from you. It was your opportunity there to take advantage of Carlson being ill. You have closed that gap a little bit, but congratulations on your P2. But let's go to Carlson. Carlson, are you able to speak?
Very few words.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, my man? First of all, how are you feeling?
Not very great. I have 39-degree fever, so it's not very good, but I'm alive.
Yep, you're
That's
alive,
always good. That's always good.
And it showed out there today. A couple of incidents there, but my gosh, what a comeback on those last 2 laps. Talk us through your first couple of stints, what your mindset was out there today, especially with maybe you having to adapt yourself. And did you feel that towards the end of the race, the pressure of you being ill was taking its toll, or just talk us through it?
I'm not sure. I started on the softs, and they weren't. I don't know if the softs aren't really good, or I was just slow. But I had no confidence on those tires, and I was very, very slow. So fortunately, the safety car came out. I could have boxed for hards, and Chris was on mediums, so he wouldn't made it to the end. My plan was to make it to the end, so. But obviously, the other safety car came out and kind of fucked that.
Yeah, it was a very interesting strategy from Chris, which is, if I was taking the interview there, I would have asked him. It was an interesting strategy from Chris. He was kind of expecting clearly the other safety car to come out, which it did. And then it was even Stevens for you both on the medium tyre. But this time round, you had a lot of other drivers competing at the same pace. How did that feel, having so many drivers around you?
It was... I'm not really sure. I was just focusing on myself. I don't even remember the race, to be fair. I just know my wings were super high compared to others, so I had no straight line speed at all.
and almost at the end there, having a bit of a 360 moment a couple of times. Were those tyres just completely done after burning them up from the spin?
Yeah, I had no grip. I don't know what Isu was doing. He just dive bombed and killed two people with him.
I'm sure the stewards will look into that later on. And going to the last stint then, 2 laps on the soft compound tyre, you went from 14th to P3. You've got to be impressed with that, right?
Yeah, it was good. I had a lot of grip compared to the others, so, and I just gained people because they had penalties. So I think I finished like P5 on track. So still good the last 2 laps, but
yeah, and of course a day of illness, and you still managed to get a podium. That's definitely why you're the championship leader and the one to beat there today. It wasn't a win for you, but it was damage limitations, I would say, and not a bad day at the office. Well done.
thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our podium sitters. What do you want to round that one up for, TK? Well, it was exciting, wasn't it? Had everything.
There was drama from start to finish. The racing, as usual, was exquisite. The qualifying was so close you couldn't fit an F1 car between each F1 car, and that finishing grid was just so unpredictable. I wouldn't want to be a bookie right now.
No, and of course, guys, we will be going to round 7.
8.
Round 8 next week.
I'm not here for the next 2 weeks.
So only, how many races have we got in this championship?
We've got 10. We've got 3 left.
8, 9, 10. So 3 races left. It's now time to start advertising for the third season of Tuatara Championship. And I can't confirm or deny, but you may see a Tier 2 Tuatara Championship. Ooh. So, guys, if you are wanting to get in to the Tuatara Championship, improve yourselves, getting to Tier 2, challenge yourself for Tier 1. The structure will also be a qualifiers. You have to qualify to get a seat in this championship, even when we go for a Tier 2 as well. So if you are interested, don't forget, exclamation mark Tuatara? No?
TRL.
TRL. Exclamation mark TRL in the chat and get yourself in the Discord because only 3 races left, TK, and well, yeah, we're going to start thinking to next season now.
We do. You've got Texas next week, Kota next week, and then you've got Monaco after that, and then I will join you for the final round in Brazil.
Brilliant. So 2 races now with just me. And we're going to get some special guests on. Woo!
Love it.
Who is it going to be? I don't even know myself yet. I'll just I'll get hold of some big time content creators or contacts that I have and see who wants to join me.
See who wants to come for a commentary.
Exactly. Be interesting to see who I pop up with next week, eh?
Exactly.
Lovely. Thank you very much all for watching. It's been an absolute blast today. Mansu taking his debut, and what a thrilling race it was. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. God bless.